our Tremolo series.
In this series, we're going to share with you tremolo pedals by some of our favorite manufacturers.
Thanks for joining us. On today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're taking a look at a tremolo pedal, specifically the Mariner from Maestro. But before we get into the pedal, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry, whether we manufacturers, and in this case, retailer. We used what are affectionately called the Zounds Library card, and we checked out a Maestro pedal because we've been interested in those, and we were able to get in the Mariner. So the Beard's going to talk about a little bit about the pedal and how we're going to attack it today.
Right. So I don't know about you, but when the Maestro pedals came out, I was looking at them going, they look really cool. We love the three little lights they have on them. But yeah, we were like, these look really cool. We've been wanting to get them in, and it took us a while to get them in. They've had two different releases of different pedals. We have the volt filter and the tremolo here. Let's talk about features real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tremolo, right? So, I like the layout. We got a depth and a speed, like you'd have on almost every tremolo. You have a shape knob that goes from a triangle shape to a square wave shape. So I'm not sure that when you get to the middle, you're really at a sine wave, but we're definitely taking that triangle and kind of rounding it off or squaring it off as we go, which is cool. And then a switch to go between harmonic tremolo and
Classic.
Yeah, your classic amplitude. Volume up, volume down, volume up. Tremolo. So I think we jump into it. Maybe a reference tone, and then I'll click the pedal on. I'll let you play just for a second, then we'll come back and we'll talk about what the different knobs do.
Yeah, the Revolta Mondata through the Tyler JT22. 3 single humbuckers. I always turn them all on, especially for this. They're all on because I can.
Sweet. So let's do that for everything we run here. We'll run it on the amplitude, the classic mode, and then we'll flip it up to harmonic tremolo. And if you're not sure what the difference is, I think we have some other videos in the tremolo series that would dive more into that.
Right.
And, there's stuff out there. But let's just focus on this. So let's start with, what do you want to start with? Depth or shape? Well,
you can go depth and really hear how it's going to make it pulse, and then if you left the depth up and we went through the shape, it would really accentuate the shapes.
Okay. So let's run that. We're going to start the depth all the way down, which is always fun because you probably won't be able to tell.
Right.
And we'll roll that up, and then we'll flip it to harmonic and do the same thing. Here. that's really obviously not where it is right now. But
Right.
once you rolled it up, maybe to about 8 o'clock or so, it really sat under there.
Yeah,
Nice.
even that, I let it ring at the end because you could hear that subtle, even though the depth was way down, you could still hear a very subtle movement. And you're right, it starts to...
A lot of people talk about using tremolos and leaving them on all the time just to have a little bit of movement under, especially that harmonic. When we got back with the harmonic and just a little bit, that was nice. So we're back to classic mode. Let's put that up about halfway. Do we just want to show the speed real quick?
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
a couple strums.
Right. See if we get the hummingbird wings.
Never unusable.
No.
Sometimes the slow is so slow.
Right.
Or the fast is so ridiculously fast.
Especially the ones that have a light that pulse with the speed. Some of them are so slow, you're like, is the light coming back on ever?
Right. Or you turn it up and it's almost like a bit crusher or like a
Right.
whatever those things are called. All right, so the last knob would be shape. So we have the depth up maybe pretty high.
Yeah, maybe not the whole way, but close, right? Like a lot.
Yeah. And that speed about where it was. So this should be triangle, and then as we go to the other side, it should turn into a square. Let's see what happens. Yeah, after we got through that, I was like, let's go back and keep that depth up, turn the harmonic on, turn the speed down a little bit, right? Like, get that really kind of throbby.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, there really wasn't a bad sound in there. Again, it's been a while since we've done a tremolo.
Which is one of Pat's favorite effects.
Right, and this afternoon, actually, we're shooting the afternoon for a change. This afternoon, it reminds me why it's one of my favorite effects.
Yeah, if we seem off, it's probably because we're more not used to working with that as much.
This would have been like 3 hours from now.
After a full day work or whatever. Yeah. So, it sounds really good.
I think so too. And I love the form factor and the shape, and it's really cool. Somehow I'm going to have to figure out the ode to UFOs in space, because we shot the envelope filter and it had like an alien head on it. So I'm not sure. I didn't read that in any of their literature, but I love the horns, the way they light up. And I said in the other episode, as a lifelong Steelers fan, I approve of that. But just the graphics and the case, it's all really cool. You can't see from the side, but it's one of those pedals that slopes a little bit.
Doesn't feel. I mean, they feel like solid pedals too.
Yeah.
Nice packaging. Nice. The whole nine. Did a nice job.
Yeah, and I shamefully must admit I did not look up the price point before we started, but we'll probably have a link to the Zounds.
Yeah, we'd have like affiliate links down below, which, as a thank you to Zounds more than anything, like if they're sending stuff over for us to check out and share with you, right. Certainly check them out there if you're planning on it. So, anything else to add?
No, I think it's really nice.
It's nice to do a tremolo again. So,
yeah. So it's one of my favorite pedals for a reason.
So with that, hey, anytime you hit subscribe, click notification bell, like button, comments, any of that stuff, like Pat said in the beginning, we really appreciate it. It helps us out. It helps us interact with people like Zounds and other people in the industry, which gives us the ability to bring cool stuff in to share with you. And we appreciate that to no end. So with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. And if tremolo is good enough for Chris Stapleton, it's good enough for me.
would you like to hit a little
We should.
tube screamer on there?
We usually invite Mr. Barber to the party, but I had to drag my old tube
Yes.
screamer off because my tube screamer was paired with my original Diaz tremolo. So
Here we go.
memory lane.
How do you turn it on?
It's janky. She's old. That's what the UFO is for.